you. So tonight I want to talk about how you can arrive to the funding side. Some basic personal credit 101, basic business credit build out, and building yourself to become credible and become a company and a business that the banks can trust. But I want you to most importantly come on in and ask your questions. There will be no gatekeeping. So I want to help you along in your business funding process. And it is Saturday at 8 o'clock. I typically go live earlier, but let's see. Share this live out with 5 people. Where are we? What type of funding are you looking for? Is there anything I can help get you to cross over to the funding side? Okay. I know y'all got some questions. Y'all probably don't. But, so when y'all come on here, y'all just want me to just give y'all a bunch of game? It's so much better when you have a question. But I'll tell you this. I'll talk about someone that I ran across. They have nice income, nice money, nice cash flow. They reached out to me the other day and was wondering why their personal credit profile for $52,000, no, I think it was like 48, and it was still under review, right? And I was like, well, what happened? I started probing the person. Come to find out they put themselves as self-employed. So let's talk about it. When you're filling out a business credit application, it gets to a point where it's going to ask you your personal information, and then it'll ask you your business information. So banks will say and categorize it a little differently. Sometimes they combine it all together in one, the business information and the personal information all on one page. But for the most part, specifically in your personal area, they are going to ask you what type of employment do you have, or to choose your status. Are you employed? Do you have an employer? Are you self-employed? And it's another drop down. When you put self-employed, you're placing yourself in a risky status. That means you're not employed by someone where you have a contract or you have a steady weekly check. You're self-employed. So you're responsible for you getting the monies that's coming your way, and they don't like that. So when you put down self-employed, it's not that they don't like it. They like, okay, now we need to fully underwrite you because you're responsible for yourself. So how has that been working out for you over the past 2 years? Can we get 2 years of taxes? Can we get some bank statements? Can we get, some P&Ls? Like, what's going on with you and your self-employed business, right? You should place yourself as an employee of your own company. You are, right? You are. You actually got 15 different titles in your own company when you're starting out as an entrepreneur. Is that not correct? Right? So when you say, hey, I have an employer, I am the CEO of ABC Inc. Okay, what is that company's address? It's 123 Main Street. Okay, what is that company's phone number? It's your business phone number. And when they go to Google any information on you, and then another thing, just so you guys are made aware, when you're filling out applications and you put addresses, employee addresses, guess what happens? That updates on your personal credit profile. So then next time you go to fill out an application and you state yourself as your employer, as an employee in your own company, you're just going to cross-reference that with your credit report. All right? And while I'm thinking about that, you want to make sure the personal information that's on your personal credit profile, that you have one name, variation, one employer, one address. You look unstable when you have all this stuff going on, because now they may start asking you for documentation because they're like, well, what's going on? Where are you employed? Where do you live? You see what I'm trying to say here, right? Do we have any questions? Where are we on the funding side? All right, so I hope that's information you could use. If that was some information you could use, share this live out with 5 people and type done. I knew I wasn't going to get a lot of people on a Saturday. Y'all out at the hookah lounge. Right? having hookah right here, okay? Let's get this money. All right, so any questions? I ain't gonna disconnect like I do. I'm gonna hang out. So we have a few people here, and I would really love for you to ask me a question. Where are we on our funding side? Are we struggling? Do we understand what? You tapping in? All right, let's go. What's funny? So I just moved and illegally changed my name. So I feel live. I am in a very risky space. Okay? I don't know what that means. You just moved and legally changed your name. Somebody stalking you? I mean, girl, you live in the South? Better go get you a gun and some gun training and get heated. Let them pull up. They gonna get something hot. Okay? No, I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but if that is what's happening to you, that's a scary place. I've been stalked before in my younger age. Like, I wasn't even all that. You know what I'm saying? I was like a thin rail. I don't know what he was going crazy over. Actually, it was crazy. I wasn't even having sex with the guy. But yeah, so some people are kind of crazy. So what I would say is, if you had to change your, I hope you're talking about your business name. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. So specify what it is that you had to change. Are you saying that you had to change your business name and you're in a risky industry, or what's going on? Okay. So all I want each and every last one of you to know is the four components that are very, very and highly important when it comes to obtaining high approvals is to make sure that your personal credit is in order. I always say that. I cannot stress it enough. Make sure you just take the time to bring yourself credible. Credibility just means truthful and believable. Become a company that the banks and lenders can trust. How can I trust this person coming through my doors? Anything you place on that business or that lending application, on the application, it should be verified. That's it. That's credibility. Truthful and believable. Your personal information that's on that credit report, that's on that application, is it matching what's on your credit report? Your business information, is it matching that you being an employer of ABC LLC? Is when we go to Duns and Bradstreet, to your website, and to the Secretary of State, is all of that information congruent, meaning that it matches and it syncs up perfectly and it's verifiable and it boosts your credibility. Do you have money in the bank? Have you had transactions coming through that bank that you're asking money for? Do you have direct deposit? See? So now you're saying you're making X amount of dollars. You got direct deposit coming in. You boost your credibility, your internal banking rating with the bank. Everything is matching from the application on. Credible. Approved. Soon as something is mismatched or unverifiable, hey, let me see your tax returns. Let me see your banking statements. What's going on? This information isn't matching. Why is this website over here saying that you got your home address at the Secretary of State, and then you got something else going on at Duns and Bradstreet, and you don't even care about Duns and Bradstreet. You didn't even take the time to update the Duns and Bradstreet profile because you do not think it's important. I did a workshop last week. Well, we're still in this week. A couple days ago, and a banker actually was there. Right? And when I was going over my information, he started laughing because it was like, yeah, people think that this is fundamental information, but this is the main reason that they get denied. And then he said, but the asset class that I deal with, he said, we don't care about none of that. But he was talking about the asset class from $1 million to $10 million of sales revenue. Yeah, they don't care. That business can be named anything. Why? Because a bank will give you money for three reasons. It's your credit, it's your credibility. So it's called the 3 C's of lending. It's your credit, your personal and your business. It's your collateral. Do you own anything, an equipment with any piece of equipment with a serial number or real estate, or your cash flow? If your cash flow is 1.5 million, 2.5 million, they don't care about your personal credit. You corporate status now. The business is standalone. Your business is more credible than you. So you got to look at it like that. Which is more credible? My personal credit report, do I need to use it as a personal guarantee, or my business? If you have no business credit or no business cash flow or no business tax statements, you have to use your personal credit. Well, you don't have to. They are going to use your personal credit. And if you don't have either, denied. All right, we have a question. I'm so excited. You changed your legal name and moved a new business. While moving, I feel that I am in risk of the eyes of lenders. No, so just so you'll know, you can do business anywhere, but you need to decide, because you can have a company in Texas that originated in Texas, and then you can have a foreign entity. It's just like a company getting a second location in California. So it's called a foreign entity, and people do that. Look that up, okay? So that's not risky, that's not illegal. You're well within your right to do that, and some people do that because they want to keep their history from the original business. So say for instance, you started a business in Texas in the year 2000 or year 2010, and now you're like, well, it's 2015, all right, let's just say that, and now you're moving to California. You're like, hey, I don't want to lose all that history and incorporate a new business. Now it appears that I'm a new business, when in fact you can go into California Bank and be like, hey, we're just setting up a new location here in California. Here's my documentation. And just to let you guys know, I am not a licensed, whatever they say you should be. I'm smarter than them, actually. But I'm not a licensed finance person. I don't even care to tell you their title, right? But what I know is I am here just to give you information. You could go check this. Like, don't be a follower, all right? Never be a follower, all right? Always do your due diligence, all right? And you make your own decisions. Just don't run out and do what someone says, right? Unless you pay me. I got a bad habit of just do what I say. No, I'm just playing. All right. Happy to be a part of the community. Oh, welcome. Yes, let's go. We got a community member here. Definitely ready to hit the ground running and get to the bag. Let's go. All right. Our Q&A call is going to be lit. You know, so it's soon. Make sure you watch that First Things First video. All right. So if you're coming up under the sound of my voice, type funding, get the link, see where you are, check your DMs. Yeah. Man, in my mind, I'm still tripping because I'm from Chicago. I just shared a post. One of our biggest fears is falling on that third rail. We've heard stories and we've seen things happen, people getting electrocuted from the train station, and they got a young man, 20-year-old man, that saved a man. How he got down there, I don't know. He fell on the third rail and was out during morning rush hour, and a 20-year-old guy jumped down on the third rail, only one with the heart. It's always some coward sitting there videoing it. And that man was huge, and this little boy, he's not a little boy, but he was a young man. He was kind of thin, and he hoisted him up off that third rail, and he said he felt the electricity. That's why he was slinging them and kicking them, because you have to ground yourself, because we know that in Chicago, like, if you grab them with both hands, you will get electrocuted too. I mean, that's just something we know in Chicago, and he was bold enough to jump down there and save that man's life. And I'm digressing, but it's just in my brain. So let me get back to where I was. Okay, so welcome to the community. If you came and you joined the community, guys, there's a First Things First video. Follow that. First things first, all right? Get that out of the way. You can get that done in the first week. Let's get it rocking. Let's become credible. Let's build out our business credit profile. Let's make sure everything is congruent. Let's get that checked off. That can happen in one sitting unless you need to wait on some updates or some changes. And I love when people come to the community and they're just building out their LLC, because you're going to build it out in the correct fashion the first time. And there's plays, and you're going to get to the bag, okay? We're going to build that personal credit profile out in the correct fashion. You know, you get behind that curtain, and you jump on those Q&A calls, or, you know, you just have a question in general. We're there to support. Yeah, I think he had a seizure. Yeah, something happened to that man. He had a seizure. That's horrible. And I'll share a story with you guys. I don't know who's here or how long you've been following me. If you've been following me for a while, I know you heard the story of me being terminated and being forced into entrepreneurship. So in 2014, my last contract, I was contracting at this point. I was making like $65 to $85 an hour. And my last job, I was a contractor at the CTA. That was my last actual job. And they come to find out when Jussie Smollett, that's why we was laughing at him. People don't know that the entire city of Chicago is heavily. Cameras has been all, and that was in 2014. We got cameras at every L station, the entire city. And our L station stops are like every 4 blocks. Okay? So that's the entire city that's lit with cameras, and we can zoom in and zoom out. We can telnet, put the IP address in, and we would zoom. I zoomed into my own crib, and that's when I knew it was a problem. And people don't even know that those cameras are out there. And Jussie Smollett doing a mock crime underneath an Amtrak station, right underneath a camera. Because I'll never forget somebody, because I don't watch the news and they know that, and somebody called me. I had a Airbnb, and I also lived down and next door to the exact building that he was staying in. All the Empire people used to stay in that apartment and rent it out while they were filming. And when they was like, hey, be careful, did you see, you know, and this is one of my white girlfriends, she called me like, girl, be careful. They said down there that celebrity guy, somebody put a noose on him. You know, my white girlfriend, she was like, they down there hanging black people, girl. I don't know, these people that lost their mind, you know. And she was, it was one of my white friends called me, and she was like, girl, I don't know what's going on, but I just saw on the news, and you be careful. It's literally next door to your building, blah, blah, blah. And when she was telling me the story, I'm like, that don't sound right. It was literally a polar vortex, and we don't have Trump supporters in Chicago. Trump hates Chicago. That's why he's doing my city the way he's doing it right now. He couldn't even speak or campaign in Chicago. He couldn't even get out the car. Okay? So I'm like, there's no MAGA hats hanging. It just sounded like a wild story. So in my mind, I say, girl, I think he went to go meet somebody on the low, and somebody attacked him. You know, he was on one of them sites on Hinge or something and got beat up. That's what I said, and I just let it go. But all I want to say is, people have committed suicide on those trains. We've seen people get electrocuted watching the playback. And for that kid to jump down, that was more than heroic. Because you see, didn't nobody else do it. That was rush hour. That means that the platform was filled with people, and only the 20-year-old, God was with him. I don't know if he survived, but I've seen some crazy stuff on that train. So guys, y'all go out of town, y'all go to Chicago, y'all in New York, do not be near that platform. It is quite dangerous, okay? Like, for real, I just wanted to get that out, but back to funding, okay? Do we have any questions? Let's see. Okay, let me stop playing. I know, right? Let's stop playing. Let's get back to it. Okay, I need help. I'm trying to invest $15K so you can join Poppy, okay, and in the business. All right, so all you need to do is DM me. What can you DM me to get the link? DM me Poppy. DM me Poppy, and you start there, all right? That's going to get you a 15-minute strategy call, all right? And that's where we'll see where you are. We'll have a talk, we'll have a review, see where you are and how close you are to that 15,000. 15,000 is light work. Like 15,000, I mean, it may take a little work if you have some negative items on your account, but if you don't have like maybe 1-2 negative items, we can still get you 15K. It's just that if you got like big charge-offs and stuff, it just depends on who you owe and what type of negative items you have on your credit report will determine if we're able and how we can get that 15K. All right? All right. So DM me, Poppy. Check your DMs and book your call. All right? It said it won't be 2 full-time. I won't. Oh, you work 2 full-time jobs? Yeah, let's switch that. Okay, thanks. Yeah, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, guys. I am here to help you my intention and goal is to make financial literacy accessible and easy to understand. It's a complicated process for a reason. It's because we don't come from entrepreneurship. We don't come from money, most of us, because people get on the phone and like, well, you know, I don't come from money. I'm like, me either. You know, like, I didn't grow up knowing rich black kids. I mean, they're out there, but most of us aren't one of them. So how would we know how to? Then you have to think of it and look at it like this. A lot of us are first generation entrepreneurs. We're the freedoms that we have right now. Our last generation and the generation before that wish we are the hope and the dream of the slave. Okay? Like, we can literally get access to the information and actually make something happen. We're the only ones in our own way. All right? And that ends today. If my bro has a $15,000 opportunity for you, and he don't even talk about what's included in that package, which is crazy. He's literally branding it for you, getting the labels together, getting you the equipment, the product. Product comes with it in the 15K. That includes products. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He didn't even tell me that. Like, another one of his mentees who joined for funding told me that. I'm like, are you serious? This is a $15,000 package. She's like, yeah, I could have just passed out. So he's literally giving you a business in a box. So your best move is to DM me, set up that call. Let's see where you are. Okay? And see if we can make something happen. 20,000 is really light work. You just got to really have some negative stuff going on. Or even, if you have a thin profile and you don't have anything negative, we going straight to the bank. And we're going to start doing strategies to get that $15,000 to $25,000 for you. That's light work. Now, if you got some repossessions, you got some stuff need to come off. Now, that's something different. You got to work to get that come off. But maybe you got an old negative account that's 2-3 years old. It's a possibility we can still see. Let's go and see if we can somehow get this $15,000, because that in itself, he's setting you up in a position where all you need is the $15,000 to launch, and I think you need a little money to do the marketing, right? I think the girl was like $300 a week for the ads, and you get so many units of the product already. Because I was like, how much is the product? She was like, oh, no, product comes with it. It's included in the package. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So he's setting you up to win. So I am okay with people risking like I did. Entrepreneurship is a risk. If you're not ready for that, then you're not ready for this life. Entrepreneurship life ain't no punk. But working for somebody ain't no punk either. Okay? I just want you to know. They fired me, the CTA. Well, not the CTA. I was contracted. Well, yeah, it was a CTA. They cut the contract and cut half the staff while I was on lunch. So the other people were inside the office and they was just walked out. They said they came out of the meeting and just ushered them out. But I was on lunch, so when I came back, they didn't even allow me back in the building. So that's quite scandalous. And I just want you guys to be aware that the workforce, that they said we are set to lose 50% of our workforce due to AI. They even put out a statement, I don't know if y'all saw that, about Walmart. They literally are freezing hiring for the next year or two or something like that. Like, don't quote me, go and do the investigation until they balance out what's going on with AI. Within the next 18 months to 3 years, we are set to lose half of our workforce. And the reason I was in tech, I want you guys to take this seriously. We have to make our own way and create some form of nest egg. If selling a product is it. All right? Do it now so you can have something saved up in a nest egg. At least you can live off some investments of some sort if things go south. Because the reason I kept getting terminated was because technology was changing every 6 months. Now, technology is changing every 6 weeks. But I want you guys to also know that whatever they're introducing to the public, it was already together 10 years ago. We're 10 years behind what is actually possible. That's how they can gauge how long it's going to take. That's why those multi-billion-dollar companies like Walmart are in those conversations. They're like, oh, okay, well, we need to get our company AI compliant. So let's stop hiring and let's get this thing on cracking. Okay, so they've been having these conversations 5 to 10 years ago. So y'all can mess around and play around and think it's a joke if you want to. Okay? I'm just here to tell you. So if you got a little something going on and you have aspirations to start a business, you better jump on the bandwagon right now and you get the right guidance. We don't have time. We're just going to copy the right cat. That's it. You don't have time to be innovative and think on your own devices, and you've never been an entrepreneur or a CEO in your life. You go and find the right cat to copy, and you do everything he says. Okay? That's it. That's all. All right. That's definitely me, that generation. All right? Hello, 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 babes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For real, for real, for real. All right. Do we have any questions? I want you guys to set up, become funding ready, pick something. Okay, you need to think about it though. You need to do your due diligence. We're highly intelligent. All right? Do your due diligence and check to see if this industry I'm going in, is it going to be affected by AI? How is it going to be impacted? All right? I don't know what to think. Okay? I'm actually a little nervous. I don't know what it's going to look like. Like, we don't know. I was really hoping this didn't happen during my time. I was hoping, but it's happening, and it's happening now. All right? We got a nice, fat, juicy question. All right, will you help me get the 15K? Will you come with me? Let's sit down with Poppy, please. Because I'm nervous, and I think I'll feel more comfortable with you being there with me. You know what? I'll make that happen. Yeah, I'll make that happen. Because see, women, we will coddle you. You know what I'm saying? Men are, that's why we're two different species, right? I mean, not species, but we're just two different types of humans, all right? We have our roles and men have their roles. We need the men because they're going to be straightforward. They're not talking about the colors or nothing that. They talking about numbers, dollars and cents, and the conversion, where we'll still be in the development phase. I've tried to partner with some women in the past. We'll be in the development phase. We're talking about the color of the paint of the event. I'm like, at the end of the day, how are we going to make some money? You know what I'm saying? Is this thing going to be, we got to get our money back. That's the conversation. That's what the meeting should be about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got you. So remind me, okay? Yeah, because men can be kind of short. You probably need somebody to be like, hey, wait. What she trying to say is this, because they'll just get straight to it. No, we're going to do A, B, C, and D. And it can be intimidating. So if you're an entrepreneur for the first time, One thing I can say out of anybody that I know, he definitely cares about his people. The package that he's giving you guys, I mean, I seriously just cannot believe it. And I'm not just saying that, like, I'm like, he must really love his people and his community, because that's the best way he can give back. And that's kind of like how I feel. Like, I'll speak at a jail. It doesn't matter. I've spoken at jails, inmates, schools, churches, kids, adults. You know, it doesn't matter. I just want my message out there. If I'm planting a seed, if you don't take action now, hopefully I planted a seed that could help you take and move forward in the future. Yeah, it's your very, very first time. Yeah, that can be scary. But guess what? You keep showing up and you're in that mentorship and you start seeing people like you. What you do is, when you get inside that mentorship, you find yourself a sparring partner. 1 or 2. You don't need too many. Some people like to group up with 4, 5, 6 different people when you all are on the same mission. And a couple of those people may not be the best energy. You connect with the person who is the most ambitious. All right, and y'all are like on the same level, but this person is a little more savvier than you. That's who is your sparring partner. So you guys are going to keep each other accountable, and you're going to get lit, and you're going to grow together. All right, and you're going to see that. All right. In the business, if it can't be both, well, no, because I'm getting my own product. I'm getting Aquila Couture on the shelves. No, because I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not selling y'all anything. I'm protecting myself. I don't know what's going to happen once the workforce goes. So once the workforce goes, that means that maybe the service that I'm giving out now to help people get business funding, I don't know. You know what I mean? So you got to have some contingencies in place, you know, and start playing the Powerball too. We might just get lucky. Yeah, what my daddy used to say, he used to be like, somebody got a lotto, it might as well be me. You never know, you know, $2 here or there. So, hey, do whatever you need to do, all right? But definitely, I think the 15K is all you need. You have to learn, if this is your first time being an entrepreneur, the only way you get good is by getting your reps in. So you have to experience the fear and do it anyhow. So don't worry, especially if you have a great master mentor like that, okay, that has mentored thousands of people in the same niche though, in the same product. I want you to think about that. He got probably 1 million reps in the same product, selling the same product. So that's a master in that area, in the beauty industry right there. Like, that's insane. You got people with Amazon stores selling vacuum cleaners and other stuff and all this other stuff, and it's not niched down specifically the way that he has it, and I think that's insane. So I think that's somebody that knows that industry fairly well, and I'm saying do your due diligence, do whatever, but I think you're okay to risk the $15,000 to start, okay? Because then you get bold. Once you see that turns into something else, it boosts your confidence. So I need you to do that on your own, and that's how you become a boss, with practice. Nothing happens overnight. Everyone starts at the same place, or even worse. The more successful you see most people, the more horrible their story was. You was like, wow, I wouldn't even put that on you. You know, so people who are successful, they're successful because they know how to get over adversity. There's a no stop mentality. Like, it's done. Okay? Once you decree and declare and you make a decision, it's already done. Nothing's going to stop you. So do you approve Poppy not being a scam? I personally know a few people that started out and they became multimillionaires. Okay? Now, what I want you to know is people oftentimes will call people scammers if they purchase something and let me tell you, I never had that problem, but I'll tell you what happens. And I want to caution people from that. People will pay for mentorships and act as though the mentor is supposed to do the work. You're not paying for them to do the work for you. But in this case, he's literally branding it out. So let me tell you something. Even if you paid him that $15,000 and he's sitting you off with a marketing team, with a branded product, he's done his job. But that ain't it. You still being mentored on a specific niche, how to price it. He's doing all that for you. What's that noise? You know what I'm saying? Gotta go get that heat. No, no, but he is building it out. I'm still in shock. So if you fail on that's on you. So in mentorship, blueprint on me. I'm going to give you the blueprint. Execution on you. I've given and refunded people who have the mentality of, I'm like, what do you mean? No, I'm not finna do this for you. You go out and you go fill out your own applications. That's bank fraud. You know what I'm saying? So some people get the wrong idea and they think that this stuff is supposed to be done for them. And that's not it. The person is going to give you the blueprint and you go to work. Okay? For instance, when I got into my financial literacy mentorship, yeah, it was a bunch of videos and stuff like that. It was people in the community that helped me. The mentor, he had too many mentees to be talking to me. So if I would have went into that mentorship and didn't execute, that's what happens. People running out, oh, he a scam, he this, he that. But did Akila do that? I watched all them videos. And I did exactly what you say. Watch videos 1, 2, 3, and 4. I called this customer service team. I'm trying to get rid of a bankruptcy and I need some funding. They was like, well, go to modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Them modules had about 80 videos. But guess what? I watched all them videos and I got my result. So blueprint on them, execution on you. Okay? If somebody is going to give you a $1 million blueprint, you better go to work. Okay? That's all I have to say. And the mere fact that he's going to meet you personally, oh, that's crazy. I just can't believe it. So if you fail in a situation like that, like Amazon, Walmart, all them people had to restructure, something had to happen, or you just didn't execute at all. Because a lot of people will be afraid and they will take actions that will get into their own way. We have to get out of our own way. And if you don't believe and see yourself accomplishing that thing, and you're not about the business of making it happen and dedicated to it, I don't care what type of opportunity you go into. You don't even see yourself accomplishing it. So a lot of people, it's 80% mentality, 20% execution, probably 90% mentality and self-belief and self-image. If you don't see yourself accomplishing that thing, you will not accomplish it. You're going to start doing things to self-sabotage, and those are the people who try to blame other people for their problems. You failed because you failed. All right? If this person is giving you a blueprint and you didn't execute on everything they told you in the exact, you have people like me. I'll give you an example. Me, the reason you talking to me is because I paid for a mentorship and didn't do exactly what he told me to do. In the first module, he said, get an LLC and you get these leases in your business name. What did Miss Cash Flows do? I got 4 units, 8 units, 12 units, 22 units, all in my business name over a 5-year period. I had plenty of time to start putting those apartments in my business name. So when I went bankrupt, I had to take accountability for that. However, you have a lot of people who just don't want to be accountable for their own actions. So be cautious when you have haters. You got people out here that just ain't right, you know, and they like to project their beliefs onto you. And if you allow that to happen, you're going to be standing in place your entire life. This is why environment is key. You have to uproot out of the environment of the people who are broke or the people who talking crazy. You talking crazy, your mentality is not right, you not got the right energy or the right mindset. Oftentimes, I'm going to tell you something in the book, Do You, and I said it impacted me, this line I'm about to share with you. It impacted me so greatly and deeply that I think I attracted Russell Simmons to me. I met him not once, but 3 times. I read his book, Do You, years ago before I went into entrepreneurship. And I had a problem with jealousy inside of my family. And I didn't understand it. I'm not a jealous person. I just never been. If you set up and you work to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and you are now getting $100,000 a year, but I didn't do that. I was at the club on Saturday, like right now. People are at the hookah lounge. Atlanta is lit. Okay, on my way here, I'm through traffic, people going to the club. Well, Atlanta got a lot of people with money, so they got operations and systems, so they could be at the club. But I'm just saying, how am I going to be upset if I didn't take the same action or put in the same work you did to get the result you got? But I'm going to hate on you? In the book, Do You, it was a line in there. It say, oftentimes people do not see the divine within them. So oftentimes people can't see the divine within themselves, so they can't see it in you. So divine is God. Meaning, and he breaks it down. If I don't see myself accomplishing a 6-figure business, investing $15,000 to go get an Amazon store, and it turns into 6 figures, I'm going to be the first person to tell you you can't do it. Why? Because I can't see myself doing it. This is why mentorship is so important. So now, guess what you've done? You've, what they call it, quantum leaped for pay. Okay? You pay the $15,000, guess what? You're around hundreds and thousands of other people. Now you're part of a community of people who also paid $15,000. What do you think the common belief system is amongst those people? Girl, you can do it. All you need to do is just run this play right here. Yeah, I ran into that same problem. Here, let me give you this resource real quick. Very different than a bunch of people sitting on the sidelines spectating. They not even playing the game of life. So you definitely, though, your first order of duty is not to listen to some fool who is not at dude's level or higher. Like, just shut up. I mean, what's the proof of what you saying is true? Like, where your receipts at? Did you join the mentorship or what? Where's your receipts? So you also have to understand and do your own due diligence, because I've had people tell me that people who I dealt with who lit me up, they was like, oh, he a scammer, blah, blah, blah. And I'll listen to and I'll ask questions like, how, what happened? Yeah, well, you know, his team, da, da, da. Then I can identify it, because I've been an entrepreneur for so long. I can identify when a person just didn't do the work and they're trying to blame it on someone else. All right, so I hope that helped. So let's get it going, okay, girl? That's crazy. And you know what? I was in a relationship when I was young, and I'll tell you a story. That's a decision you're gonna have to make. Unfortunately, people tell you to get, like people like me, tell you just go ahead and get success and do all this and go follow your dreams. But guess what? When you accomplish those dreams, we don't tell you what's attached to success. Haters, you lose family, you lose friends. Yeah. You get a bunch, sometimes you get too successful. You know, you start getting fake people around, people trying to hang out. You don't know who authentic, who's not. So when they say it's lonely at the top, that's a real thing. And so mentorship become your thing. You come around like-minded people. More than likely, you're going to be around a lot more people who's more supportive of you, who, because they're going through the same thing, and we become each other's family. Like, real talk. Because a lot of people lose family, friends, relationships. That's so unfortunate. I'm sorry. So, what would be the reason, you don't want to? And that's another thing. So people get offended when they hear women who are entrepreneurs say they don't date non-entrepreneurs. That's why. A non-entrepreneur man just can't, he just don't get it. Because we're out here hustling. Entrepreneurship life is a different mindset and a different mentality. And what'll end up happening, King, you may end up leaving your girlfriend. Because if she's still staying in that same state and she's not evolving with you, jumping into mentorship with you and learning some of the things and being involved in the business, you're going to evolve past her. Y'all are going to become unrecognizable. Once you join that mentorship and start hearing money plays, your consciousness will raise. I'll never forget when I left corporate America and I joined a $20,000 mentorship. They had a bunch of, I'm still a part of it today. And it had a bunch of older Caucasian white men in that group who had been in real estate 20, 30 years. And I'll never forget the first meeting. It was this big time lawyer and accountant, and we were having a workshop for estate planning. It was my first time ever hearing this conversation on how you can save in taxes. And he was calling out people in the audience. Hey, John, you made what? 8.5 million last year? Let me show you how John didn't pay any taxes last year. I raised my hand and I was like, is this legal? They all started laughing. So you're going to have to come with a beginner's mind. The reason your income level is where it's at right now is because you don't know what you don't know. So when you come into a certain, like joining my mentorship is a great step. You get into financial literacy and understanding that you're evolving. And if your spouse is still, talking to people who are having the lower vibration conversations, when you come back and try to connect with that person with this higher level conversation, they're either going to give you a hard time or be uninterested, because people don't like to see people change. They start saying things like, oh, you think you're better than me. It's not that. They're just insecure. So if that person, your girlfriend, doesn't go on this ride with you, unfortunately, I can see it eventually breaking off. That person that's why you see a lot of couples going to mentorships together, right? Because they're evolving together. We're in this together. That's why if a female is like an entrepreneur and then dude is like a 9-to-5 person, we can't connect. Because we don't want to hear about you complaining about your wife and I could go get you $250,000 real quick and you could go get your own business. So I can't have that conversation with you. So it's not that I think I'm better than you. It's just that I have a solution to your problem. And then you don't want to hear me complaining about hustle and bustle or a contract deal or a partnership didn't go well. Because in your mind, you're thinking like, well, you could just go get a 9-to-5. Or they'll start resenting you. The jealousy creeps in. I heard a crazy story. I'm used to the men like being like resentful or something like that. But when it's the other way around, that's kind of strange. Because I promise you, okay? I don't know if your girlfriend had her dad around or what. But for me, I was used to seeing men handle shit. And my mom and my aunties and my family, we all had powerful men. I come from a family full of fucking beautiful women, all my aunts. And their husbands were all powerful. My cousins are married to powerful people. And what comes along with that, powerful in their own right, okay? And they could be working a W-2 or whatever, but they're the provider. So what comes with that when you're with a man that's a provider and he says, I'm going out or I'm going to do this thing. I've seen the women in my family support that. Dude, what you need? You need me to help you with some flyers? What you want? You want to go door to door? Okay, you want me to hire you a second? You need an assistant? Okay, come on, let's go. I'm on board with that. But if you're gonna try to stop me, I'm too ambitious for, some men. So I have to be with an entrepreneur. He the only one gonna understand that. Right? It can be, because then when we move around, we can move around together. Not he at work and, he resenting the fact that I'm chilling because I grinded for 4 days at a conference or whatever, and I don't need to grind for the next week or two, where this person is working hard and clocking. Because, baby, when I worked for that $60 an hour, I didn't have a life. That's why when I left corporate America, I lost my natural mind. I was around the world. I was on a trip. I joined a traveling club. I never was in Chicago. I was never home. Okay? I lost it. I had cash flow coming in, and I had freedom that I had never experienced in my life. I don't have to answer to anybody threatening to fire you. That was a real fear. I used to live in fear because I had all these bills and all these people I was responsible for and to. When they fired me, I was devastated. They fired me 2 days before Thanksgiving. I'm responsible for my son, my mother, she was divorced, her kids, a building, a condo, car notes, school supplies. It was like I had 3 kids, my sister and my brother and my son. Okay? Me and my boyfriend used to take care of those kids like they were mine. So we went and got winter clothes, school clothes, everybody got it. So that was a lot on you, and then to get abruptly fired, you hungry at 11 o'clock, but your lunch not until 12. Just simple control over you, which is just unnecessary. You try to get Christmas off, and they tell you no, somebody with seniority got it. It's crazy, okay? I'm on vacation, but they call me on a bridge call. I'm on a 24-hour bridge call on my vacation, and I'm in Belize. I went on a trip in Belize and had my laptop with me and had to go to an internet cafe and leave my friends who were having fun and was in the internet cafe for the most of the trip because they had an outage. Okay, so I wouldn't care if I was driving Uber as long as I got my freedom. All right, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do anymore. Okay, so I have the blueprint for you. You type the word funding. And while they're funding, you need to figure out how to get yourself your first $50,000 to $150,000 and get yourself into an opportunity and turn that credit into cash flow. All right. That's unfortunate. I went on my whole soapbox. You know what I mean? That's a shame. That means you're not with the person that's meant for you. You have to live your life. Do not let somebody stop you in a relationship. I am sorry, because you will grow and get old and you'll resent that person. I cannot tell a person not to experience their dreams. I can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm just not built like that. I cannot tell you you can't go out and do a thing. I'll give you different things to consider. But you literally have people giving you ultimatums, telling you, if you go do that thing, I'm going to leave you. And then when you say bye and you get lit and you meet you a new girlfriend in a mentorship, and y'all both lit, posted up with some twin Benzes, and then, then you're going to be like, hey, that had to happen. I don't even regret that she left. So, do your thing, all right? It's unfortunate if you guys can't come together, but do not allow somebody to dim your light. Okay? Do not allow someone to dim your light. If you have aspirations to do a thing, go do it. It's the question. Facts, I'm looking for that new community. Yes, to uplift in you. Yeah, that community is going to do it. They're going to speak life into you. They're going to speak life into you. They're going to keep you going. You need that. I'm still investing because I'm not thinking about what she's saying. That's a shame. That is a shame. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I hope that works out. I'm gonna have $4,000 saved now. And she said, why are you working? Oh, oh yeah, I wouldn't even listen to her. I'm like, uh-huh. Oh yeah. Conversation over with at that point. Yeah. I see if you added like 3 more zeros to that, but still, working isn't about the money. You find the thing that you can serve. So as many people as you can serve is how much money you're going to get. The more people you serve, the more money you receive. So it's more so about who can you serve, what problem can you solve. For me, it's economic empowerment, it's financial literacy. I can help you build out and become funding ready. A lot of people are struggling with that. Okay, E Scorpio 2, I am still doing it. She can't stop. No, she cannot. All right, Sugars, okay. Oh, you guys are just chatting it up together. Yeah. Do not allow someone to dim your light. Sometimes you have to keep your plans secret, okay? It's a lot of things that I don't tell anyone but my mother. Now, my mother is a submissive woman, like 100%. Like she didn't work. Her husband provided for her 100%. But being that type of woman, she was college educated. She was the first person in our family to get her college degree, and I was the second one. Okay? The only person I talk to about my plans is my mother. My mother is like my personal cheerleader. So it makes sense that she would be with a powerful, rich man. It makes sense. She was giving him that ego boost and that mentality and that feeding and that strategy, okay, that he needed in order to be successful. She helped my stepfather do all sorts of shit to up his game and 10x what he had going on. Okay? So you have to have that in a spouse. So men give love when they feel respected and they feel supported. Women give love when they feel beautiful and they feel loved. So what we need from our man is praise. I don't need you trying to tell me what to do like you're my daddy and telling me I don't need to be an entrepreneur. What I need from you is when I wake up in the morning, you look good. Smack me on my ass or something. Don't say nothing crazy to me. Okay? Some men got a problem with that. They got a problem with praising their women. Okay? I've heard men say pretty girls think that they supposed to have fans. Yes, my man's supposed to be my fan because I'm his cheerleader. I'm going to be just like Carisha was for Puff Daddy with the sign. He on stage. That'll be me. That's my man. Hey, you don't even need to know my name. Okay? What is wrong with that? That's when you know you dealing with some deep-rooted insecurity and a certain mentality can't even be in my orbit. I get away from you real quick. If you talk negatively about other people, you X out my space. I protect my orbit real. It's all good vibes here. You cannot be thinking and speaking negatively about anything or anyone we ain't doing that over here. Okay? That's just it. That's all. Like, for real. Yes, you need to be my cheerleader. Girl, you look good. I don't care if I think I look good. I want to hear you say it. So, the sexier you make me feel, or if I think I'm the sexiest woman in the world, you're going to get more sex from me. But if you get to acting and talking crazy to me, I'll be like, no, I'm good. Like, I don't even know if you like me or not. Like, for real. I got other people giving me compliments, but my own man ain't. Like, come on. And that's how I would think a man should feel. Like, my girl not cheering for me? Like, why not? Especially if you successful, you got it going on. You got it going on. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? You need me to pass out some flyers. We need some surveys. What's the plan? You know what I'm saying? Like, get away from people who is telling you to be negative to your mate. Like, don't even talk about your mate to people. Like for real, for real. That's another thing. Well, what I'm talking about to my mama, you know. Oh, some of those. You know, my relationship. I take that back. My relationships. Yeah, I couldn't. I used to talk about my relationship stuff with my daddy, not my mother. Yeah, my mama is too. She don't like that. She don't like nobody messing with me. Like she ain't with that. She do not want me to be disrupted, but that's her mentality. She's the cheerleader. She feels like, hey, you have a gift and your mind needs to be right. And that's my mom's attitude. And so I guess I probably adopted that from her. So let's get funded. Don't let nobody stop you. If you got some people talking crazy, don't tell them your dreams anymore. Just act. And you get around other people who are on the same level with you and y'all all going after a new business together. Period. Okay, do you like what your man hold your hand while you're walking in public? Yeah, I'm okay. I do public affection, PA. That's good. Why not? Yes. Oh, bro. We landing out. All right. Do we have any questions about any funding? Do not let anybody dim your light. That conversation wasn't even supposed to go that way. But we had a question. Yeah, an active LLC for 2 years. Will it be easy for me to get business funding? Do you think it's smart to invest that into stock? The only way I would say invest something into stock. Here's my motto. Yes, if you have a business that's 2 years or older, that opens you up for business lines of credit. Okay? And so that opens you up for more funding. Okay, that's the benefit of having an aged LLC, an aged corporation. So people who have businesses less than 2 years old, they can typically only go after 0% interest credit cards. But someone with a business that's 2 years old or older, you go after 0% interest credit cards and business lines of credit. Okay? Investing something like that long term into stock, there's other financial plays that you can probably do that's a lot better than that. You have to get yourself and get close to the campfire to get certain information, to get exposure to certain information, right? My motto is whatever you spend the funding on should generate an income that's going to pay the debt down, all right? Meaning Airbnb or some type of cash flowing thing. Investing in a long-term investment isn't going to pay that loan down every month. All right? So that's something to consider. Okay? All right. So I told my girlfriend because I thought she would support me. I don't think she would say what she said. I know. When you start advancing and changing, that's why I told you. People do not tell people. They always tell you to go for the goal. Go get successful. Go for that 100,000. Go for that $1 million. But what they don't tell you, what is attached to success. Success, you're successful, but you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose relationships. You're going to lose family members. But guess what you're going to gain? You're going to gain a lot of like-minded people. Your orbit is going to change. Your experiences are now going to change. Now you're going to be happier. You're going to be having high-level conversations. People with money are happier. They talk. It's a different conversation. You feel good even when they don't even allow you to talk crazy. They don't even allow you to get into your negative feelings. Like a bunch of girls last night that I connected with last night, we all got together and we was just talking and hanging out. One of them was like, she started to get down on herself, checked her right there. She was like, you know what? I needed that. She's like, no, that's not you. You're our queen. You got to remember who you are. So I love this quote. Kanye said it. He could be crazy, but this was he got some bars. One day it was a clip going around on the internet, and he said, I was around people who forgot. He said, when you're around people who forget who you are, who don't know who you are, you forget who you are. So being around people who want to elevate you, they're not even going to allow you to talk negative about yourself or forget who you are. They're going to be there to remind you, like, what are you talking about? You did X amount of this. You did this. You did that. You did that. You got to remember who you are, girlfriend. It's like, yeah, you know what, you're right. So matter of fact, we're going to do X, Y, and Z so you can get that confidence back. Because entrepreneurship is no joke. It takes a certain mentality. You got to get rid of all the junk, the negativity, the self-loathing, I don't believe in myself, the negative talk. You're never going to accomplish anything. Entrepreneurship will stretch you outside of who you won't even recognize yourself. That's what I'm saying. The person next to you staying in that same frame of mind, and you have expanded to a whole nother level. Like, I don't even argue anymore, and I was off the chain. I used to be quick with it. I'd talk about you, your mama, your dad. We'd be fighting and down 911. Let's take it to the streets. Entrepreneurship is like, dude, I don't even argue. Like, I don't even do that. I did enough arguing in my 20s to last me a lifetime. I took, like, don't even regret. You getting around people who's bringing you to that lower level, because most successful people, it is not even entrepreneurs. I'm going to say successful people. It's either you're going to raise up to where they are, because you're not going to pull me down. And that's the mentality. That's when successful people, they skate. And then you don't see that successful, positive friend anymore. Maybe because you weren't raising to their level and they had to go. It's just as simple as that. And that's why relationships sever. Because when you get serious and have made a decision about an outcome that you are going to accomplish, nothing can resist the will of a man that's willing to stake his own existence. You know? I mean, to stake his life on the extent of his purpose. All right? It's just as simple as that. Nothing or nobody's going to stop me. So you can stay here over on the sidelines and I'm over there. Because what you won't do, somebody else will do. You don't want to be my cheerleader? Guess what? I require that right now. Yes, I need some coddling. I need a cheerleader. Yes, I do. Sorry. So I'm going to go find somebody who's with the cheering. Because I'm going to make my person feel great. If we're not here to make each other better, there's some healing that needs to happen. I'm not with the toxic. Like I told you, I've been there, done that. I used to, I would fuck you up mentally. Like, I used to just disappear. You'll be crying. Man. All my shit go. You be like, what happened? Like, just gone. Number change. Yeah, you straighten up then too, because it's just some shit you just not about to tolerate. Like, but that's kind of crazy and toxic a little bit. But literally, you sometimes just gotta up and remove yourself. Okay, get your life together, make your own decision, because that's why I don't get into that anymore, because I'm not that person anymore, because I will fuck you up mentally. Okay, and I don't want to be that, because I feel like that's wrong. I read in a book that if you control somebody mentally, that's a sin. That you should not impress your will upon someone and try to force someone. That's why oftentimes I try to say, like, hey, I'm just introducing an idea. Do your own due diligence. What do you feel right for yourself? You see what I mean? You have to take 10 to 15 minutes in the morning and at night. Meditate. Tap in with yourself. So that way you will not be a follower. Do not be a follower. So get clear with yourself what it is you want in this lifetime. I don't know if we have multiple lives. I don't know if I'm going to have another one after this. So I'm going to ride this one until the wheels fall off. Okay? Get clear with yourself and determine what you want. Make the decision to go after it and recognize it when it shows up. So when it shows up, you have to act, or you're going to delay your outcome. All right, we have a question. Do I gotta join the Illuminati for that some conversation? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's saying I've had an active LOC. I know, right? Somebody talked about the Illuminati. Like that's a real thing. I believe those. I believe that those secret societies do exist. All right. Okay, I'm back in town a few days, and my mom's is cooking oxtails, y'all. Okay. Gotta get them oxtails, okay? Toxins, but sometimes it's necessary. And sometimes it just go somebody, like just be gone. You know, gone. Man, I was in some crazy. I had long relationship, and my person was abusive and crazy, and I'll never forget that time. I just up and I was gone for like, I moved into an auntie's rental unit. Man, they said he was going crazy. I had to come back after 3 days. He was like going crazy, crying, tearing up shit. Like, but you know, you said you think sometimes you just gotta get up and go. You know what I'm saying? If people don't respect and honor you, it's who you are. And I was in a very bad situation, you know. That was the only time I was, but you have to heal past that, and you can't take that into your new relationship. Because I was talking to a cousin, and she was saying like, oh, you know, you still mad at him? I was like, nah. Like, I forgave him. I went to therapy, you know, and then I actually talked to him, and he just couldn't control his emotions. He was so young. I was the first woman he was in love with. He was like, I was so afraid I was going to lose you, and look what happened. So you're just young was the problem, and just couldn't control his emotions and thought trying to control me was it. And he found out that that wasn't, and he learned, and he, you know, he's a different person. So you have to forgive people sometimes. I mean, you don't have to forget, but I forgave and forgot because, you know, it was so long ago. And I mean, I just believe in redemption, and I just think it's not for you. It's not for that person, though. Really, it's for you. I literally have no hate or ill will for no one. Like, literally, guys, that's another thing. Like, when I say clean up the junk, think about anybody that you're pissed off at. Like, I had family members. I used to be grudgeful and, you know, and mad. People met like, why they messing with me? Why, you know, why they... As I got older and evolved, I understand, like, some people's information and consciousness is limited. So I see things, I have a different experience than them. So I'm different than them, so they don't see me like them. So, I mean, it's okay. I love them anyway, you know. Like, just pray for these people. Like, literally a good ritual that helped me get over a lot of things. I did this for a couple years, and it actually works, and I'll share it with you guys. Every night, like, write down 10 things. It could be at night or in the morning. I used to like to do it in the morning because at night I do another different type of ritual before I go to sleep in meditation. But in the morning, when you wake up, write down 10 things you're grateful for. And then just sit with yourself in silence. Pray however you pray to whatever God you pray to. But then sit to yourself and send love to the top 3 people who are ailing you at the moment. Like, literally just pray for them and wish them well. Wish them health, wealth, abundance, anything that you wish for yourself, for that person. And when I was doing that, eventually, like, the family problems stopped. Like, they stopped gossiping about me and making up stories, and it just all went away. The person who was getting on my nerves, like, I didn't hear from that person anymore. And what it is, when they say prayer changes things, prayer doesn't change things. Prayer changed you. So my lenses were clean. So the reason that thing isn't affecting me anymore is because the way that I looked at that thing changed. The way that I looked at that person changed. So as long as I'm holding and harboring hate for someone that did something to me 20 years ago, I'm still experiencing that. You have to clear that up if you're going to reach any level of success and happiness within yourself. Maybe someone needed to hear that, okay? Let's see. What's the question? I'm back in town. Let's go with those oxtails. All right. So we've been on here a while. If you're looking to obtain your first $50,000 to $150,000, type funding, check your DMs. Let's see where you are, right? Join me. We have options for every level. You know, that's going to let us know what level you're interested in or what level of support we can offer you, or if we're a great fit. So type funding, check your DMs. Let's get lit. We have one more question. Would my success cause me to lose friends? Yeah, 100%, and family. And when they know I will be in a position to help them, that's crazy. People, they just are not comfortable. That's why some people you need to just cut off, unfortunately. Like when you hit some level of success, because they keep thinking you're the old you. Like I told you, I used to argue in my 20s. So some people who just can't accept the new me, they probably think it's time to kick off and pop it off. And you're like, nah, I'm not that person anymore. People change and evolve. They should every 3 years. And it's crazy to me when you run into people from your past, like when I go back home and they're still having the same conversation that they had 10 years ago and they still in the same place. It's like, wow. That's not what life is all about. Life is about growing to your personal best. Do not allow anyone to dim your light and stop you from achieving that. Do not cheat yourself. Okay? I don't care. If you're afraid and you think someone's going to scam you, start out in the lower package. Don't invest in something that you're not willing to lose. That's another thing. Business, investing in mentorships, and investing in yourself is risky. You're going to get something out of all of it. I've never lost 100% on anything that I didn't get the full outcome from, but it led me to something else. All the time, I'm always going to win. Great teaching. Thank you, Ms. Class, for those. You've got a good heart. Oh, thank you. I think y'all, I think it was led. I think some of the things that I said, people just needed to hear that tonight. Yes, yes. Let's get it, guys. So I want to thank you for sharing in my journey and spending the time here with me on a Saturday night. I don't know if y'all on y'all way to the club. I remember I used to be on my way to the club. At the hookah or whatever you doing, getting dressed. But I appreciate you because you could have been doing anything else and just sharing in my journey. I love you, I love you, I love you. Type funding. Let's get funded, guys. Let's get to that next level. Have a good night.